Happy Thursday, everyone. We're on number 15 of 25 things I do to grow my blogging business. And we're shifting gears from mindset, from SEO, and we're going to talk a little bit about email marketing. So, number 15, creating lead magnets. My name's Leslie Peterson, and I help bloggers turn their modest websites into thriving online enterprises with SEO, email marketing, and a little hard love encouragement to always move forward consistently and with a plan. For those of you who aren't familiar with what a lead magnet is, this is when you offer a gated piece of content for free to a person coming to your site in exchange for their email address. And what I want to do today is share with you some tips for creating the perfect lead magnet in order to get more subscribers. So many of you have a newsletter or you're collecting email addresses, even if you're not sending a newsletter, and you've got a great subscribe now button on your site. The first thing I want to challenge you to do is to move away from subscribe now and consider the lead magnet option. And here's why. Marketing Insider Group reports that lead magnets convert, and by convert, I mean people sign up for them, 85% better than just subscribe now. 85%. So if you want to increase the number of email addresses that you collect, and I highly recommend that you focus on that, especially with the wave of craziness coming out of Google lately. But if you want to increase that number, then a lead magnet is how to make that happen. Now, I'm going to talk about this in detail a little bit more later, but I will tell you the thing that was a game changer for my business when it comes to collecting email addresses was moving beyond one lead magnet and creating multiple lead magnets. And I do that using the T.A.R.G.E.T Framework for lead magnets. So let's walk through the T.A.R.G.E.T Framework. T.A.R.G.E.T is an acronym. And we'll walk through that together, and I'll share with you a little bit of my story. So the T stands for tailored. You want your lead magnets tailored to your audience's specific needs. And the best way to do this is to meet your subscriber, your potential subscriber, where they're at. You are not going to be able to do this if you have one lead magnet on your site. You want multiple lead magnets that really exemplify all the facets of you that can be found on your site. Because I'm going to give you an example on our site. I share a lot of content about traveling with my family. We travel locally, so in the Atlanta area, because most of our readers are from Atlanta. We travel all around the Southeast. We travel all around the country and the globe. And those are very different types of people. So I might have a lead magnet that's really just about local events. And then I might have one that is about day trips. And then I might have one that's about flying or trips that you can reach when you're flying. We absolutely have lead magnets for date nights because not everybody has kids or cares about travel that comes to our site. Some people are just interested in things that they can do in the Atlanta area, specifically on date night. And then we have a lot of Florida content. Florida is a major draw from the Atlanta market. So we have an entire lead magnet on Florida. So you can see that somebody who's just coming to my site for date nights might not be attracted by a lead magnet about Florida. Somebody who's coming to figure out where they should go to the beach in Florida, which coast they should be on, which city they should visit, where something cool is in the state of Florida, they are not going to be enticed by a list of the most romantic places in Atlanta. So you've got to tailor your lead magnets to fit all the different types of people that come to your site. Now, I recommend that you stay in the 3 to 5 range until you get a handle on managing that. We have 12 right now, and it's a little bit much. Luckily, we have, 8 years of experience managing it. But when you're just getting started, just consider 3 to 5 and create those lead magnets, and then you'll assign a post to a lead magnet. Sometimes it's going to cross. I might have a great date night idea in Florida. So I've just got to decide who's going to be most attracted to that particular piece of content, to that lead magnet. And if it's 50-50, then I'm just going to flip a coin. So that's the T, tailoring to your audience's specific needs. The A in the Target framework is actionable and easy lead magnets. You do not need to have a 25-page ebook download for your lead magnet. You want to think about cheat sheets, checklists, 5 easy things, 7 easy things, 11 easy things. You want these to be easily digestible. You want people to be able to take action on them almost right away. So that's the A in Target. The R is relevant. I can come up with a dozen amazing, cool lead magnets for my site, but they're not going to be attracting the type of person that I want to speak to on a regular basis or that I write content for. You want to make sure that your lead magnet really fits in with your blog and your target audience, and it's not just cool or not just a great idea that you saw somewhere else, because you want that lead magnet to be a natural transition into the other content that you have on your site. This isn't just about collecting email addresses. This is about building a community, forming relationships over the long haul. So the R is for relevant. The G in Target is for generous. So a lot of people ask me the question, can I just take one of my existing blog posts and make it into a lead magnet? And sure, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no lead magnet police that are going to come and arrest you for doing that. But you really want to be generous with the content that you're offering. People don't give their email addresses lightly, especially these days. And if they do and they're not feeling like they can trust you, or that they're getting something that's worth their while, then they'll give you a spam email address or an email to an email, or the address of an email that they're not usually checking. That's kind of their spam email account. So they're not going to see the additional content that you provide for them. And this is also a call to you to not stop at the lead magnet. So I really recommend, you don't have to do this from the get-go, but I really recommend working toward a nurture series. So email 1 would be that lead magnet. And then you want 2 or 3 additional emails to follow, maybe 2, 3, 4 days between each of those, offering even more value, nuggets, insight, information that they would so that the person receiving it's like, wow, they're sending me some really cool stuff. They're going to open it. They're going to trust you. That's how relationships are formed. Now, those other emails, those follow-up emails, can include links out to your blog post. It can include affiliate links if your affiliates allow that. It can include information from partners that you have, people who've paid to be in those nurture series emails. But whatever route you go, you just want to be generous with the information that you're providing. And then after that nurture series, after the 2, 3, 4 emails after the lead magnet's delivered, then if you've got a newsletter, you can drop them into your weekly newsletter blast. And I do recommend a newsletter. I mean, that's how you keep the conversation going. If you're not going to do a newsletter, there's still value in doing the approach that we just talked about, because there's additional ad revenue, there's affiliate revenue, there's brand partnership revenue. There's you can lead them into the next persona after they finish the one that they signed up for with your lead magnet. You want to keep those email addresses and that communication going, that relationship going. And a newsletter for me has been the easiest way to do that. Now, if you're thinking about a newsletter, I'm going to give you this tidbit before we keep going on the Target framework. Don't just send a list of articles that you publish that week. It's called a newsletter because there's a letter part to the email. You want to focus on connection. You want to focus on building a community, building trust, letting people into your life. Sharing our I should say people are more willing to listen to what you have to share, to read that blog post, to listen to your pitch from a brand you're working with or consider buying your product when they feel like you've been giving them a lot of great information. You've built a relationship with them. And that letter in the newsletter is the really great way to do that. And I don't always do this, but I enjoy asking people for their feedback on something. For example, we just got back from Wisconsin, and a couple weeks before we were going, I shared with everybody that we were going on a trip to Wisconsin. I'd never been before, and I was looking forward to the cheese. And I had several people write me back and tell me about the farmers markets and a couple hikes because they know that we like hiking and what beer to have. And I love that. I love that people feel safe sharing with me and participating in our travel and sending over feedback. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And sometimes when I feel like I'm not reaching anybody out there in the world, it's those emails that I look back to and remember that I am making a difference. So if you are hesitant about that because you just don't know what to write in that newsletter, then head over to lesliepeterson.com. The link's down below. I've got a lead magnet for you where I am sharing 52 ideas about how to connect with your subscribers in your newsletter. So I hope you'll check that out. Okay, that's the T. T is tailoring. A, actionable. R, relevant. G, generous. We're on to the E. E is exclusive. You want to make them feel special. Now, we talked about this a little bit in saying maybe if you can offer something more than just a piece of content that's already on your site, but you also want that piece of content to be unique to what they would find in other places also. I see a lot of travel people who put together a lead magnet that's a packing list. And the thing is, I can get a camping packing list or a Disney packing list or a beach packing list everywhere on the internet. Anywhere. And not one is not particularly better than anywhere else. There's nothing unique. There's nothing exclusive. There's nothing that makes them feel special when you're just offering something that everybody else in your space is offering. So to me, this is the hardest part. Coming up with something unique and beneficial. I would encourage you to put some thought into this. Maybe take a walk. Go on a walk for an hour or two. Just think about it. Don't look out there in the interwebs. Don't check out what your friends are doing. Think about your audience. Think about you and what makes you special. What are you bringing to the table? What do people depend on you to offer them? And think about what your special angle on that is. That's what you want to offer. Make them feel special. Offer something unique. Yeah, it is the hardest part, but it's going to be worth it in the end. You'll see that with the number of subscribers that you have coming, more subscribers if you already have one that you have coming today. And finally, the last T, trackable. You absolutely need to track your successes and your failures. And I say failures, because you're going to have them. We all have them. We all have that one lead magnet that just flops. I had one for Florida. The first one I put out for our Florida lead magnet, it was less than half of the conversion rate as the rest of them. And it took 2 or 3 experiments before I got it right. And now it's one of our best ones. But you're going to have to track the results. And you're going to have to recognize that, especially if you're putting out 3 or 5 lead magnets, one of them is going to be a flop. And you might have to redo it, do another one. Be open to that. And just be on top of it. As soon, I would say, a month, 2, 3, if you're not seeing, if you're seeing one of them do a lot more poorly than the other, and I don't mean number of subscribers, because you might have, for example, our Destin lead magnet is on far fewer pages than our outdoor adventure lead magnet. So I'm not going to see the same number of subscribers coming through, but I am going to see a conversion rate in the software that I use. And that's what I want to look at. If you don't have 2 to 7% conversion on your lead magnet, then you're going to want to rethink it. And I know that's a huge discrepancy, 2 to 7%. But if your lead magnet conversion rate is, 0.5%, 1%, it's time to put some more effort into it. So don't forget to track and measure your successes and your failures and tweak as necessary. That is the T.A.R.G.E.T Framework for lead magnets: tailor, actionable, relevant, generous, exclusive, and trackable. So do look for examples in your own mailbox. So it doesn't matter if it's in the same niche as you or not. What are you getting that's enticing you? What sort of lead magnet is grabbing your attention? What sort of nurture series is really keeping you engaged with that particular business? I have a swipe file of those. I keep them on the regular because they're great for inspiration when I want to create a new lead magnet or I want to update one of the ones that we already had. And don't be intimidated by this. You've got this. But I want to put some urgency behind this message. I want to put a little fire under your hiney. Google's changing. It is becoming more and more difficult to rank and rank high. And even when you do, it's not getting the conversions that it used to. And the best combat for that is going to be stay on top of your SEO, create products that you own, work on your affiliates, and build your email list. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Your revenue potential is directly proportional to the number of email subscribers that you have. It's that way in every other business in the world, and it's definitely that way in the blogging world. So don't be intimidated. Think about what your multiple lead magnets are going to be, and I'd love to hear back from you in our free Facebook group. There's a link for that down below. Join the group. Share with us your lead magnets. Ask for feedback from the group. We'd love to have you.